Hello. Welcome back to another Blood Bag review. Today, in honor of this film's 40th anniversary, we are looking at The Thing. Released in 1982, this is a movie that's widely regarded as one of the best horror films ever made. And again, I thought for its 40-year anniversary, we would look at it for this mini review. Now, where to start with this film? Probably be the man who made it, John Carpenter. This man is a legend of the horror genre. This man made Halloween, The Fog, Christine, The Thing, which is subject of today's review. They Live. Man made a lot of great films. He also made Escape from LA, and I don't think he did Escape from New York, though. But again, man's done a lot of good films. And The Thing was the film he did after doing Halloween's 1 and 2 and The Fog, which The Fog didn't do too great. Halloween and Halloween 2 did pretty well. And he made The Thing because he was a massive fan. Well, again, I could be shouting out my ass. I should have done. But he did The Thing because I believe he was a huge fan of that original film. Again, I could be completely wrong. And one thing that I find interesting is that in the original Halloween, Laurie and Tommy were watching the original Thing movie from, I believe it was 1951 when that came out, being Thing from Another World. But anyway, now, and enough of talking about Carpenter. I'll give a huge spiel about Carpenter when we get to doing reviews for the Halloween franchise, which I'll confirm those will probably start around September, if not at the beginning, like sometime mid to late September. I'll do all 12 Halloween films before leading up to Halloween Ends. But anyway, let's get into the film itself. The Thing takes place in a U.S. Arctic research base and follows a group of, I believe, if it was 12 guys. And we have Kurt Russell as the main character, being R.J. McCready, or just Mac. And wait, nothing. I just zoned out for a second. Jesus. But and obviously Mac is the main character. And one thing I need to specify right now is that every single character is very much believable. They act realistically, and you get to know them really quickly, despite them all about to get fucking murdered by a weird alien monster from outer space. Then, now, we have the other characters. We've got Childs, Null, Gary, Bennings. Jesus Christ. Memory. Serve me right. Copper. I don't need to specify all their names. I just thought. But obviously, probably the main thing that everyone remembers from this film is the amazing practical effects done by Rob Bottin. Rob Bottin was either in his late teens or early 20s when he did The Thing. And it's so fucking incredible. Probably some of the best effects ever. It's so good. Rob, before he did The Thing, he had worked on The Howling and The Fog. 2 other pretty good effects movies. The Fog, in fact, in The Fog, he played the main villain in that one. But anyway. So, obviously, yeah, the plot of this movie is that these group of U.S. Arctic researchers stumble across 2 Norwegian guys chasing a dog into their base, and the dog is a thing. And there's an entire thing that took place previously at a Norwegian base. They made a 2011 prequel for it. It's not great, and I don't plan on making a review on that anytime soon. But I just thought it's worth mentioning that. Now, one of the biggest things with the Thing is that the creature is able to perfectly replicate human cells and shapeshift into different life forms. It could shapeshift into dogs and humans. And all it takes is one bit of this thing to get on you, and you're fucked. And one thing that this movie does so well is paranoia, because there's a lot of things in this film that are very much left open-ended. Like, who is a thing? Who can you trust? That's one of the main themes of this movie, is trying to figure out who can you trust. And as you all know, that this movie was a massive inspiration for the game Among Us, which that's also a game about figuring out who you can trust and who is the murderer or the alien shapeshifter. And again, this movie does the whole paranoia thing and being on edge and trying to figure out who's real and who's really human and who's the monster. There's so many scenes here that I can recall from this film that kind of like there are sequences in this movie where the paranoia kind of gets dropped going into straight horror. Two scenes that I can immediately name is when Copper gets his hands bitten off by the Thing, and then the Thing detaches its head and it becomes like a spider thing, and obviously that's where the famous line of "You gotta be fucking kidding me" comes in, which that got parodied in It Chapter 2. Another scene where it has that completely drop of paranoia and to reveal who the Thing is and get some horror and gore in there is the blood testing scene, which it starts out very suspenseful, like who's real, who's not. And then when they get to Palmer, his blood reacts to the heated rod, and then his fucking head splits open vertically, and he fucking eats windows. That's another character. Like, he just goes nomming on his head. It's so graphic, man. It's and the first time I saw the film, man, it gets you with that. And another thing, but going back to the paranoia and open-endedness of the film, is that even the ending of the movie is very much left up to interpretation. Now, I will go into some spoilers here. I highly recommend. I'm just gonna say this is a very good movie. I highly recommend you watch this one. It's very good. But going into spoilers, it's revealed that their medical scientist Blair, who kind of went crazy midway into the film, killing a shit ton of sleigh dogs and breaking up their radio equipment. He was locked up, and it's revealed that he was a thing. And then, eventually, Mac throws a stick of dynamite at it, and giving off another extremely quotable line. Yeah, well, fuck you too. God, this movie's got some good lines. But then earlier, before they fought, he killed Blair. Childs, who was left on guard duty, ran off. Only when Mac, after destroying the thing, Mac sits down, and then Childs joins him. And Mac asks Childs, "Where were you?" And Childs gives an excuse saying, "I thought I saw Blair." And this ending is kind of split, being that some people believe Childs is a thing, some people don't. But that's just the beauty of this film, is that it's left up to interpretation of what's going to happen next. It's left up into what you think is going to happen. That's why this movie is just so good. It's so good with paranoia, so good with suspense, so well done and leaving things up to interpretation. Like, overall, this is a phenomenal horror film, and one that if you are a fan of horror or a fan of suspense films or any like just stuff like that, I highly recommend this movie to anyone who is interested in it. It's very good, and putting it into the old blood bag here, just like with the Black Phone, I'm going to give this a full 100%. It is very good. It's well acted. The practical effects are amazing. The tension, suspense, paranoia, and horror is so good. It's just all around, it's just a great film. And Carpenter made his mark in '82 with his masterpiece. But in September, we'll talk about his other masterpiece that started a franchise that will have 13 films. See you then for Halloween in September. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.